You receive big signal from your ex, you don't know what's going on, you might be stressed and a bit lost. This is what we're going to cover today. I'm going to help you to decrypt all those messages and understand how and what they're thinking at the moment. Put yourself in their shoes. Before I move on, just to remind you to subscribe to the channel. It's free, go for it. You get notified whenever I post a video and it really helps me grow that channel. So you make my day, basically. Comment if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to reply and understand your case and help you out. And finally, take the quiz to know if you have any chance to get back with your ex. I left a link in the first comment of the video. So let's get to it. Number one, if your ex is what we call an NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, so that's the worst case. Worst case, it's just they're doing that just to confuse you. They blow the hot and cold constantly, just to see you suffer, just to boost their ego. They are nasty, they are bad people. You have to leave. That's it. So luckily it's only 5% of the cases, so make sure not to label your ex too quickly as an NPD person. But yeah, be mindful. You might be in that case. If you're unlucky, in that case, there's only one option, is to leave straight away. In most cases, however, in 95% of the cases, it's just that they are confused, and we're going to look at what's going on in their head right now. So they left to be happy. There's something in your couple that made them unhappy, and they decided to break up to be happier. But now they realize that it's not really the case, that they're happier without you. Therefore, after the radio silence, what's going to happen? They were going to recognize that their behavior was not really normal. They will also not playing a game. That's the thing you have to understand. They're not playing a game. They're not doing it on purpose. It's just that it's all about trying to do the right thing. And they don't want to be too optimistic. They don't want to be too pessimistic. And that's why they alternate the good and bad. They alternate hot and cold. And we're going to look afterwards in the other slides what's going on, how to detail and how to decrypt by situation what's going on with your ex. The first thing is the pre-radio silence cases. So on these ones, it's really about the doubts in their head, playing the ego game, trying to see where you are, trying to make themselves good. It's so important. So that's why they will alternate. Often it's to keep the option available. Are you on the hook or not? So they just be nice and then the distant and nice and distant. And they're going to do that dance very often to see if you still have the option available. So my advice to really look for their language. Are they, recognize that type of language? Is it to do small talk? Is it to just talk about deep stuff? It's just to brag? Just try to understand their language and only enter in the discussion when the message is clear. Otherwise, you cut off. You're not interested in those type of conversation. Comment if you don't know exactly what I mean by that. More than happy to have a discussion on what's going on in your case. So now, many reasons the ex keeps those discussions. And again, they're not necessarily trying to manipulate you, but there's few reasons. It's maybe they just want to relive those very nice moments of discussion they had with you. Maybe it's because they want to reassure that they still have it, they still can seduce you. Maybe it's just not to cause any problem, so basically they want to avoid any confrontation if they are going to the same place you're going, just to check in. I'm going to that place, would that be okay if I go there too? There's sometimes, and I like calling that warranty, is like sometimes, I don't know, you're a cook or you're a great cook, or you can help them fix something in the house. So they're just checking, like, are you still around to help me out? This one, be careful. And maybe they're just not sure. So then just checking in, did I really make the right decision or not? And they're gonna go back and forth, just checking in and out, dipping their foot into the water. Now, after the radio silence, they don't know how to come back, because that's the whole thing. They decided to break up with you. You made them really not suffer, but experience the void, being on their own. Now they want to come back to you, but how do they do it? Do they go like full steam ahead? Not so sure, that's the thing. It shows, and people think that they would come back and say, I love you, I made a mistake leaving. This is, you're the love of my life. That's not so easy. Unfortunately, they can't do that. They can't do that because first, they're not experts in communication, and they can't do that because they're gonna lose face by doing that. So, and they're scared. What if you reject them? What if you're still angry? What if you hurt them? All these things are going on in their head. What if you're back in a relationship? There's so many questions unanswered for them that it's too risky for them to go and be really upfront and go directly saying like, yeah, I screwed up, let's get back together. So you have to understand that what's going on in their mind at this stage, even though they realize they made the mistake, they can't tell you upfront, I made the mistake, let's go back together. They will always do that one step forward, one step backward. And it's going to be frustrating, I know. But now that you understand what's going on in their mind, you can have the right attitude. So, be careful of this one. Hyper optimism about getting back together. When you see positive signs and you say like, okay, this is good, it's gonna work. If you see a one story view, a like on Facebook, it is not a sign. Be very cautious, be really, really careful. Don't make it to be the grand trophy or the grand prize to win getting back with your ex. Because by doing that, as you're having high expectation, the only thing is gonna create really strong deception if what you see as strong signs are not really strong signs. Don't be in a situation where you're chasing the other. It's not working, it's not comfortable, it's gonna burn you out. So you are both the prize in that sense. It's not about you versus them, it's not about you winning something, you're gonna win together. No one, as a result, no one is above the other. You are here and you're fixing that relationship to stick together. And lastly, it's just a mutual thing. It's a mutual work. So it's not you chasing, it's not the other one trying to get back. It's just you together going in the same direction. Now, mutual prize as well. So if they come back, they will come back. If they come back, be open to the idea. Because as we mentioned, they made the decision to break up with you. Now they take the courage to say, okay, I screwed up. Don't be the one like, yeah, you screwed up big time. Be open to the idea, welcome the idea, welcome for who they are, welcome them for the mistakes they made, for example. But again, don't have a big party like, yeah, let's have a prenuptial, whatever, I'll invite my parents, I'll invite yours, I have my best mate, and be cool. They're gonna say, I'm coming back and made a mistake. Yeah, of course, it's gonna be tricky. Reply, I understand, I will try. You have to respect, you have to accept them for who they are, because you have to keep in mind that uncertainty, things won't be fixed in the day, it will need some time. So what my suggestion is really move smoothly and slowly. And actually it's not a weakness to move slowly, it's really show that you're trying to build things steadily and from the ground up. Really important, because by rushing things, it's like creating any type of construction. If you do it like, if you rush it in 2 minutes, the thing it's not gonna be solid. If you do it like spend a lot of time and a lot of planning and thinking about it, it's gonna stay still for long. A little bit like my son playing with his car at the moment. And control your emotion. Control your emotion, because again, by adding emotion to that sort of process, it's going to damage things, because it's going to be about, oh, you made me feel like that and now I feel like this, and this is, I know, I'm crying, I'm desperate. This is not what you want to show to your ex at this stage. Reassure yourself. So I think it's the last point, don't be the instigator of doubt. So what I mean by that, they send a text message, don't reply 300 messages. Don't fall into the trap of the one chasing the other. Don't be the one who chases, okay? It's like a tennis game. Think a bit of, playing tennis, you shoot one ball and you wait for the other one to send you back. That's the thing. Build up smoothly, build up slowly. It's gonna be solid this way. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. When in doubt, let them engage more than you are. So when in doubt, you just have to look at your phone and you see how many messages they send, how many messages you send. You need to be always lower than them. Now, the last thing is they are in a rebound relationship. That could be scary, but as you know, rebound relationships don't last. What they are doing is they are trying something new. They are trying to test something new. They would compare. And it's often a test to know where you are and what you're up to. It's often a test. Rebound relationships is always a test. So radio silence would create that fear because they want to know what you're up to, but by having that radio silence, they can't really test you or have your reaction about this rebound relationship. So it's not going to reassure them, it's not going to help them, it's going to actually create fear and anxiety in them. And they're going to ask that question, can they get you back quickly? Well, if they have no news from you, they can't know that. So you're going to build up that anxiety. So remember those 2 points. Don't be too enthusiastic. Don't be the one to chase. So important. Remember that. Write it down. Stick it on the fridge. I don't care. Don't be too optimistic. Don't be too the one who chase. Be gentle. Respond warmly, slowly, politely. As I mentioned in one of my other videos, you have to be the elephant, strong, confident, walking towards your goal, and cool as a cucumber. You don't want to be the monkey or the rabbit running everywhere. That's not how it works. So there's a possibility of getting back together. Of course there is always a possibility. Whenever someone decides to break up with someone, he's not sure. He's never sure. They're never sure. So it's always, always, always fixable. I don't know if it's a word, but I'm going to use it. It's fixable. So you need to both think about it. It's fixable. How do you fix it? And patience and discipline. Again, I say that a lot. It's not about fixing things quickly or fast. It's about doing it step by step, slowly, gradually, and increasing in intensity over time. So the key takeaways, and sorry about my assistant in the back, they are not trying to manipulate you. Understand the root cause of why they are blowing hot and cold, why they alternate being super ecstatic and super distant. Play your part. You're the one who's stable. You're the one confident, motivated, ready for action, ready to fix that couple. And remember, it's not them, you, it's together winning that prize which is being together. Well, I hope that was helpful. If you have any other thing, feel free to comment, and don't forget to click a like button on this video if you liked it and if you learned something new today. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Ciao.